Ultra running is one of the fastest growing sports in the world, and I think I know why. The little secret us ultra runners know: it's easier than you think, and you can do it too. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an osteopath and an ultra runner. And that first bit, the fact that I'm an osteopath, that's kind of relevant because for a long time I thought ultra running was stupid. Why on earth would you risk knee pain and hip pain later in life just to get some accolades now? I didn't see the point in it. But slowly a couple of things started to happen. First thing was that I started to treat people in their 60s who were ultra runners, and they were the fittest, strongest, most active 60-year-olds I was treating. The other thing that started to happen was that research started to come out showing that people who run in later life have lower incidence of knee pain and hip pain than non-runners. So I started to realize that the biases and the fears that I had weren't really grounded in any truth. So in 2022, I decided to sign up to an ultramarathon, have an adventure and test my theory. I signed up to Ultra Trail Snowdonia. I did 6 months of hard training, really diligently following a plan, but still in the run up to that race, I thought it was going to break me. I thought I was going to find my limits. And to my surprise, I didn't. I had such a good day out. I'd built the fitness to cover long distances in beautiful nature, and it didn't break me. It was wonderful. But to get into it, there are a few strategies you need to know. First strategy is to slow down. To illustrate my point, earlier this year, I ran a 52-mile ultramarathon, a double marathon. I took my kids to school on the Monday morning, and I was chatting to another dad who just so happened to have run a marathon that weekend. Now, at the time, I was running about 50 miles a week, and that 52-miler took me about 10 hours. This chap that I was chatting to was running about 80 miles a week, and his marathon took him 2 hours 27. That's an insanely fast marathon that I will never dream of being able to run in my entire life. I was in awe of this 2:27 that he was running. However, he was in awe of my 52 miles. He couldn't understand how I could run that far. I was telling him, look, I'm running 50 miles a week, you're running 80. You're an insanely fast runner. You could definitely run that ultra that I just ran. And he just couldn't get it. He was like, no way. There's no way he could run further than a marathon. And the reason he didn't think he could run further than a marathon is he was imagining how he felt on the finish line of a marathon. He wasn't really thinking that if he just took it a bit slower, if he walked a bit, if he ate a bit more food, if he enjoyed the scenery, he would have been fine. And what we all need to realize when we're trying to run a really long way is slowing down is the solution. The goal is to get to the finish line, get the job done. You're not trying to race it. And if you do race too fast at the beginning, you'll crash and burn. I've done that too, don't worry. And this concept of slowing down, this applies to our training too. Yes, as ultra runners, we need to do some speed work, we need some intensity, but the dose makes the medicine and we drip that in. Most of our training is slow zone 2 running, aerobic based running. It's nice and steady and it doesn't beat you up. This means you can turn up to running most days. I run 6 days a week and it doesn't beat you up. So when I said earlier that ultra running is easier than you think, that's our training too. It's nice. What I found reflecting back on my running journey is that the really hard training was when I was trying to get better at 5 and 10Ks. Those workouts really made me want to throw up. The training for ultra running is bliss, it's joy, it's nice and steady and easy. Now, there is another strategy you need to know to become an ultra runner, and that's that you need to eat a lot. And again, this is going to apply to your training and to your races. As you increase your weekly volume in your training, you need to fuel yourself for that. Obviously from good quality sources is best, and in your races, I mean that 52-mile ultramarathon that I was talking about, I burnt about 6,000 calories in that. So I was trying to eat regularly. You get to eat your flapjacks and your brownies, just keep fueling yourself, and that's what's going to help get you round. I've personally come to land at about 400 calories an hour, but that's through trial and error, and everyone's different there. So while you have your strategies of slowing down and eating lots, you will still find that ultra run gets very hard, but it's a different kind of hard to what you're used to. If you're someone who's running 5Ks and 10Ks, they're the sorts of things that really make you want to throw up, especially if you're pushing it in a race. The pain and suffering and struggle that comes in an ultra marathon is different. It's an all-encompassing discomfort that creeps up on your legs, creeps up on your shoulders, creeps up on your mind, but you can cope with it. And this is what I think is leading it to be one of the fastest growing sports in the world. It is a challenge, but you can cope with this challenge. It teaches you that there is amazing power in the human body. There is amazing power in the human mind. And when those voices start to come into your head and you're only halfway through the race and your voices in your head are telling you can't do it, but you keep going anyway and you keep trudging on, and then gradually you get closer and closer to that finish line, and then you get there, it gives you this afterglow. It gives you this feeling of strength and power that lasts weeks after an ultra. So my challenge to you, if you're trying to increase the distance in your running, wherever you're at, if you're just running 5k, if you're just running 10k, if you're at about the half marathon mark, carve out some time at the weekend and pick a distance that feels scary. Pick a distance that you don't think you could run. And what I want you to do is apply these strategies of walk a bit, run much slower, take some food with you, and don't see it as a run where you're trying to get it done in a certain time. See it as an adventure. Pick a place that's quite beautiful to run in, literally stop and smell the flowers, take some photos, and just have a lovely day out. And I bet you'll get to the end of that, surprised that you got it done, surprised you actually feel okay, and you'll wake up the next day feeling proud that you've done it. If you do that, I'd love to hear how you get on in the comments. And I've actually made another video about all the runs I do in a week to become an ultra runner. So if you want to see more details about how I train, you can check this one out here.